day to him. All right, so I want to get into the training today. I want to make sure everything is still working. Okay. Yes. So here's the thing. And I'm not trying to pick on people today, but I want to give you an idea of what got me going. So the first message I got today, and this just led into these 3 mistakes, was randomly out of the blue message, right? So it's actually an in-mail because we're not connected yet. So I'm not connected with the person, and it comes in, and I'm not trying to pick on this person. I've made all these mistakes. By the way, so full confessional, I have made all these same mistakes years ago and learned the hard way. They don't work. So I'm not here to be holier than thou and I'm smarter and better. And I made all these mistakes. Okay. I used to do all this stuff too. It just doesn't work. So I want you to learn that I'm not trying to be like I'm better than anyone. Okay. But this one came in today. I put together an elite mastery group. Here's the video. Actually, the link's not in there. Blah, blah, blah. Check it out to your success. Okay. What's the problem with this is I didn't ask for it. How do you even know I'm interested? How do you know I'm a prospect? I'm not here for this, right? And then another person puts one in, super long. Hey, sales pros must do this, this, take charge right now. And it's like, I didn't ask for any of this, right? So again, another one, I'm just like, I don't want this, right? Okay. And then a third one came in. And again, I'm not trying to pick on people. And if you're on the call today and you're one of these people, believe me, I've done all this too. I used to do this all the time up till a few years ago. Okay. This one, hey, I thought you'd like to read this, right? Here's all this. Again, the problem with these messages, and I'm getting into these mistakes, okay? And this is what got me fired up because there were just 3 in a row of these. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I got to get on my soapbox. These really encapsulate 3 kind of critical mistakes I see again and again and again on LinkedIn. And you know me, you know that I talk about how the money is in the mailbox. All of your money on LinkedIn is in one-on-one messaging. So I want to walk through today what these 3 kind of common mistakes are that people make and then how to really fix them. And mistake number 1 is trying to marry me on the first date. And that's what's happening in some of these messages is, hey, you know what? Watch this video, book a call with me, right? I get a lot of those too, where it's like, hey, come on right now. Let's set up a call, blah, blah, blah. Like buy this, do this. Again, remember, no one is asking you for this. No one's asking you for your content. And the reason this is so important, this first mistake where you're immediately offering a link to your content, you're immediately offering your webinar, you're immediately putting in a link to your blog. Oh, I bet you'd love to read this. No, they wouldn't. Like, do you know how overwhelmed and overloaded all of us are every day with digital content? Do you really want another person hammering your LinkedIn inbox or your email inbox with content you didn't ask for? Of course not, right? Of course not. No, right? The other thing too is you're wasting your own time and energy and resources by just hammering people with links because you don't even know if they're interested or want it or would be a good prospect, right? So don't do this. Don't assume people want the links to your content. This is something that I've noticed with messaging on LinkedIn big time the last, 6 to 12 months is now people react very viscerally and angrily to this. Now, if you come in and actually throw links in, people will say, stop. Like if you do a message like Kelly did here, people will respond and go, stop spamming me. Stop spamming me. They consider this spam. Like that's how sensitive and irate people are when you send them links to stuff they didn't ask for. Okay, that's the biggest mistake we're seeing right now is, just assuming people want to read it or click on it. So what the solution is, right? I'm not going to leave you hanging and just complain and criticize. Ask permission and qualify, right? So I've got this specific script. You've probably seen it if you've followed me for any amount of time or read my book. It's very simple, right? The script you use in a kind of ideal one-on-one LinkedIn message, curious name of person. Are you looking for any tips or insights on this topic? Like, are you even interested in this? Right? So if I go back to Kelly, I could reframe it as, hey, John, curious, do you ever feel like you're getting in your own way? John, curious, are you looking for any tips on how to get out of your own way? John, are you looking for any tips or insights around how to, lead yourself better and get out of your own way? And then she can pivot into part 2 of the script. if so, or the reason I ask is, so that's my favorite line is the reason I ask is I've got a great free resource. Like, and this is the description of what you're going to share. You don't use this actual words, but I've got a great free resource that does two things. It demonstrates my expertise and it helps you get some quick wins. So Kelly, in this case, could say to me, the reason I ask is I've got a great new post that will show you 3 tips on how to get out of your own way. And then the final part is you ask permission. This is the key part. If you're interested, and give them a simple call to action, just reply yes or thumbs up, and I can send it over. And the reason you want to make it very clear, like just type 3 letters or a thumbs up emoji. Most people are doing LinkedIn on their mobile phone. They're not going to take the time to write out a response. Give them just a no-brainer, idiot-proof call to action. Shoot me a thumbs up, shoot me a yes. Like, make it super clear. I'm asking you permission. If you'd like it, please type a reply, say this. Then you take off the pressure. If you're not interested, 0 worries. No problem, right? Be well. Hope you're doing good either way. This script has made myself and my clients a lot of money, right? Because this is how you get people engaged and into your funnel and into your content and onto your webinar and listening to your podcast and reading your book and buying your stuff. It's very, very simple. It's just 4 parts. One is you ask, are you even interested in this topic? Are you? Well, if you are, I've got something free of value that I can give to you. It's digital, whatever it is. And, the key thing is on the back end, it's going to demonstrate your expertise and help that person. And I'm happy to send it over. Part 3 is you ask permission. Part 4 is you say, and if you're not interested, no worries at all. Like, no big deal. And what you do is over time, maybe once a month, you can go back to each prospect again and again and again with this same template and just change up what you're offering. So this month, it could be tips on how to get out of your own way. Next month, Kelly could send me a message and say, hey, are you looking for ways to motivate yourself? Maybe she has a post on that. The month after that, it could be, hey, are you looking for ways to generate more leads on Instagram? The month after that, it could be, hey, are you looking for more ways? Are you looking for tips around how to create a podcast? Like, whatever it is that you want to sell me, just start with that topic and something free, right? But ask. This is the structure. Okay, so I've gotten through step 1. I'm calming down a little bit now. I feel bad that I'm, ranting. Here's the other big one, though, that still fries me is people, mistake number 2 is they ask for time right away. Do you get these messages on LinkedIn? Let me know in the comments. Do you get people on LinkedIn? And here, I'm going to go over to the comments right now. People, right? Okay, so yeah, so truth, delete. Put in the comments if you get these messages where they're always asking for time, where they're like, hey, let's have a call, right? Do you get a lot of these where people are like, hey, I want to set up a call with you to discuss our SEO services. Hey, I'd like to set up a call with you to discuss coaching. Or hey, do you get a lot of those? Type yes in the comments. I just want to see if it's just me. Okay. Holy cow, do I? Yes. Okay, so they're coming in every day. So it's not just me. Good. People are asking you for that. Tina, no worries. Glad you made it. Yeah. So you guys are relating to this. Okay, good. So here's the other thing. People will come in, and this is why this is the second biggest mistake I see. You're coming in and immediately asking me for time. The number 1 is you don't even know if I'm interested. And you're asking me to give up my most valuable commodity on earth, which is my time. The number 1 thing, we all get the same amount of time every day. The last thing you and I want to do as a prospect is just give it away and just have someone, especially when it's very blatantly going to be pitching me something. I'd like to have 15 minutes to discuss your website and how we can improve it with SEO services. No, I don't need that. I don't want to focus on that. That's not what I asked you. I didn't ask for that. You're just coming at me, right? But then the other thing too, for you, selfishly think about yourself, is why are you going to waste your time? Why are you going to give your time away to people that you have no idea if they're qualified, no idea if they're a good prospect, no idea if they can afford your service, no idea where they're at mentally and what their mindset is, no idea if they would be a nightmare client? Why would you give your time away? Why? Like, why would you do that? Are you that Do you have that much of a scarcity mindset and neediness and fear that you'll just talk to anyone and everyone at any time? Like, because again, you're self-sabotaging, you're hurting your own business model by randomly just giving away your time and expertise on these calls. And this will lead into item number 3. But the solution to number 2 is you need to value your time. You need to start, obviously first ask if they're even interested in what you have to offer, but also more importantly, do some work up front to qualify people before you give up your time. Like, if nothing else, even if you don't want to worry about offending other people and irritating them, think about yourself and be like, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to have 10, 15-minute calls every day with people that I have no idea if they're qualified, warmed up, ready to buy, nut jobs, tire kickers, whatever. Like, don't give away your time. So that's mistake number 2 and solution number 2. All right, so now we're going to move into the big one. Oh my gosh. And this one gets me going. This one really, really gets me going. Is when people come, and feel free, type yes in the comments if you get a lot of these. We get a new connection and they say, let's have a call. Let's get to know each other. Let's explore mutual synergies. Let's see how we can help each other. Let's do a little networking. I'd love to get to know you and hear your story and blah, blah, blah. Type yes in the comments if you see that a lot, because I want to see, and yes, Bob, I can help you, baby. Let's do a virtual coffee. Oh, puke. Gene, you're absolutely right. I just want to vomit. I don't do any coffee, let alone virtual. All right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All the time. Lots. Yes, yes, yes. Nonstop. Okay. Yeah. You guys. Okay. Everyone is agreeing with this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here's the problem. There's so much wrong with this. I don't know where to start. Here's the biggest thing. And now listen, I'm a child of the 80s. You know this about me, but we don't live in the 80s anymore. I can literally go in, because of the digital era we live in, I could know within 15 seconds everything I need to know about Kelly, right? Where does she live? Newport Beach, California. Where did she go to school? Georgia Southern. What does she do for work? These things, right? What is her story? What does she tell you about herself? Right here. Where has she worked? What's her career journey look like? What companies has she been at? What has she done in the past? What do other people say about her? All of it's here. There's no reason on God's green earth that I need to have a call with Kelly to ask her about all these things. There's no reason that in 15 seconds I can't scan and know everything I need to know about a prospect on LinkedIn, right? In the 80s, you couldn't do that. In the 80s, you had to go meet people and do coffee. In the 90s, even, you had to go do that. But we live in an era now where everything's available. You can know everything about a person within a few moments and a few clicks on LinkedIn. So there's no reason, first off, that you have to have a get to know you call. I can get to know you on LinkedIn just by looking at your profile. Okay. So that's step 1. And again, think about saving your own time, right? Here's the other big thing. One is it also communicates to prospects that you're lazy. Because if you're saying to me, hey, John, I'd like to have a call and learn more about what you're up to, what your business is, what your focus is, blah, blah, blah. Dude, look at my profile. Like, that will tell you exactly what I do. I mean, listen, this is exactly what I do, right? Like, this is what I do. How can you help me get more of what I want, right? That should be a prospect. If you don't take any time to personalize it and say to a prospect, hey, I saw this and this about you. I see you live in, this part of California. You went to this school, whatever. They just know you're lazy because all that information is there. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is, again, I want you to start valuing your time. Saying yes to this and just randomly doing these get to know each other calls, you're wasting your time. You're giving away your most valuable commodity, which is your time, and your second most valuable commodity, which is your expertise, to someone who might not even be a good prospect. They don't really know, like, or trust you yet, and you have no idea if they can afford your services. So whether you're on the giving end or receiving end of this, whether you're the one asking, let's have a call and get to know each other, or whether you're saying yes just because you feel like you should, you're really making a core mistake. This is a huge mistake. Again, now let's look at the solution, right? The solution that I've developed for this, because at the end of the day, you know me, I'm not a jerk. I'm not Mr. I just see people as dollar signs. I genuinely try to help people. Okay. You can use two things. Content is how you warm people up and qualify them and buy their time and attention. And then you put up some hoops that they have to jump through in order to talk to you. You need to start positioning yourself as an authority. You need to position yourself as someone that nobody just gets to call, right? One thing I find crazy is a lot of coaches and consultants will have their calendar on their website. Anyone in the world who wants to can book a 15-minute call with you, right? Like right away, here today, let's just book a call. Like, what if it's like some crazy nut job who has no money and no interest? You're allowing them to book a call on your calendar. You're telling them, I'm willing to just give away time. And so one of the things I really work hard with my clients is don't do that. Don't just give away your time. Don't let anyone and everyone book a 15-minute call with you. Especially coaches. The analogy I always use, like for a coach or consultant, is can you go on Tony Robbins? Let's do this in real time. So most famous, coach out there right now is Tony Robbins. Okay. I'm going to look on Tony's website for where I can book a free, just random 15-minute call today with Tony. Okay. Where is it? Why is his calendar not on here? Why am I not just able to instantly talk to Tony? What do you mean? You mean he's not instantly available for anyone and everyone to book a 15-minute call with today? What? Right? Like, no, of course not. You don't get to just talk to Tony Robbins for free. You don't, private coaching. Maybe Tony will talk to me right away. I can just have a free discovery call. Oh, wait. Okay, he's telling me all this stuff. He's telling me about this. I have to go through and fill out a bunch of stuff, check a box, and then someone will get back to me. Not Tony, a strategist. Why do I have to jump through all these hoops? Why can't I just get on the phone with Tony? Do you see like how ridiculous it sounds when you look at someone like Tony Robbins? The problem is, and I'm going to let you know a little secret, you're just as valuable, and your knowledge and your expertise in your area of life is just as valuable as what Tony Robbins does. So why would you give that away? And if you don't believe me, I'm going to pull out Maxwell Maltz on you right now, and I'm going to tell you that. So I'm going to show you the Arnold Palmer thing. And I think I sent out an email about this. Oh, it must be in the other. I have so many notes from this book. Okay. So here's the deal. He talks about feelings of inferiority, right? Originate not so much from your facts or experiences, but your conclusions, right? The example, I love this. He says, the fact is I'm an inferior golfer to Jack Nicklaus or Arnold Palmer. This is Maxwell Maltz. He's like, yeah, that's a fact. Like, I cannot golf as good as these guys. He said that doesn't make me inferior as a person. And on the flip side, Arnold Palmer can't perform surgery, right? Doesn't make him inferior to me. We all have different gifts and talents, okay? It's not actual knowledge. It's that you feel like you don't have value. Okay, that's what he's talking about. We conclude we're not worthy. Okay, but it really is not the case, right? He talks about everyone's unique. Like there's only one version of you. And so I want to just dive into that a little bit to understand you're not in competition with anyone else. You don't have to have Tony Robbins' platform to have value and be valuable and protect your time. Okay, you don't have to have all his big name clients and accolades. Okay. But you do need to put yourself in a position of authority, because otherwise what it tells a prospect is if you can go to the front page of my website and book time with me immediately for free without jumping through any hoops, that tells you I'm not busy. I'm desperate for clients. I don't value my time. I don't really have a lot of expertise or knowledge to share because I'm just giving it away for free to anyone and everyone. That's a real red flag, right? If you were able to go on Tony Robbins' website and immediately book 15 minutes with him, that just tells you something like, oh, he must not be very busy, right? Like you want to set up where, again, your content does all the heavy lifting. That's why on the front page of my site, I'm giving away an entire book for free. That's why I developed this free tips area of my site where, look at this. All these different topics. You want mindset tips? We're not going to spend 15 minutes on the phone. Here's mindset trainings. Do you want tips on how to sell online? I'm not going to spend 15 minutes asking you questions and giving you personal advice. Not off the start. I'm going to give you all these free tips. Do you want tips on how to market on LinkedIn? Here's a bunch of free content. Do you want to know how to use webinars to sell? Here's a bunch of free content. Do you want to know how to do content that attracts clients? Here's free stuff. Do you want tips on tools? Here's free content. So what I do is I use this content to get people to do a couple of key things. And I want to show you this. When you do good content, number one is people get to know, like, and trust you through your content. If you do a good job with creating and sharing your content, telling your story, all the things I talk about in my Content Marketing Machine book and course, people get to know, like, and trust you. That does the heavy lifting. That's their experience with you. Okay. And that's why this is so valuable, because we can scale ourselves now. I can scale myself to reach anyone in the world. They can watch me. They can listen to me. They can read. They can see pictures of me. Like, I don't have to do this 1-to-1. That was the 80s, right? Like, early on, you had to do virtual coffee meetings or real coffee meetings because you could only talk to one person at a time. Now you can bottle up your personality. You can bottle up your tips and expertise and create content where people get to know, like, and trust you. And then more importantly, if your content does its job, they see you demonstrating expertise, not just claiming it, right? So I talked about Bob Rosen, a client of ours and a coach of ours, or John Griffin or Dan Prosser, any of the different clients that are working with us. These guys all have content that demonstrates their expertise, that they don't claim authority. They don't just say, I'm awesome. I've worked with all these big companies. You should hire me. Dan Prosser has a whole book. That walks through his strategies. Okay. John Griffin has tons of content that walks through strategies, and we've created content for him. Bob Rosen has this hour-long webinar where he's teaching so well that I'm still using his stuff and I'm doing it for him, right? Like, so there's demonstration of expertise. That's what people need. Again, you're not going to hire someone just because they claim authority. Just because I spoke at Social Media Marketing World on LinkedIn, you're not going to be convinced to hire me for LinkedIn tips. Only when you consume content that helps you say, okay, this guy really knows his stuff. This works for me personally. These tips resonate. This makes sense. He's not just hype and hyperbole and yelling. This is actually good tips. Just like what I'm doing on today's call. I'm giving you training. I'm saying, here's a specific script you can use. Like, this is demonstrating expertise. I'm not just coming on the call complaining. I'm not just being that troll that goes, oh, these people are so dumb. They're making mistakes. I'm saying, these are the mistakes. I've made them too, to build empathy and build rapport. And then I'm saying, and here's the solutions. Here's how to fix it, right? That's an example of content where now people know, like, and trust me. Now they're seeing value in it. And that's what you want to do in this final third solution. Because again, you use that content to warm people up, to earn the right to ask them for time and attention. But here's the other big thing. You still don't want to just immediately give your time away. I still make people jump through hoops. So when people come to me and say, hey, yeah, I'm curious about, I'll show you a couple examples of this that just came in recently. So what I do, like, oh my God, here's another one that just came in. Here it is. Are you, and I'm sorry, Doug, this is actually someone on Doug's team. Okay. Good afternoon. Are you interested in doing this? Blah, 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 blah. Join this book launch team. Blah! No, like, I didn't ask for this. Like, no. Like, I don't want this. I don't, like, oh my God. Okay. Sorry. I'm chill. Okay. Nemo, calm down. Okay. Let me show you. Okay. Here's another example. So I'm saying, I'm offering this guy, do you want to come on Noon with Nemo and learn from me, blah, 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 like we're doing today. Let's set up a call. Here, Assistagram. So let's just walk through this, because this is an example where it's not at all related to what I tried to offer. He wants to sell me Instagram stuff. Okay, this looks very obvious, right? Like, strategy call. Okay. How does he even know I'm qualified? Schedule a call today. Right. Okay. At least he's making me answer some questions. So that's good. He's trying to qualify me. But again, it's not walking through the strategy that I'm talking about. So what I do is, and to get back, sorry, I went off on a tangent. If someone says, hey, I'm interested in talking to you, and they've gone through content, I'm still going to make them go through a type form survey. This has been a real game changer for me in terms of saving time. And so I use a tool called Typeform, and I've done this for a lot of my clients, where you're making them jump through hoops. They've read your stuff. They said they're interested. They're coming to you going, what are your prices? How does it work? What does it look like to work with you? Again, this is where you want to get out of the scarcity mindset and go, oh my God, someone says they're interested in doing business with me. Yes, let's have a call immediately. So I'll never forget this. Okay, and here's a good example, a quick story that I'll tell you, and then I'll explain why I will never do this again. So let me put myself back on camera. Okay. All right, so turn off screen share. Okay, so this is when I said never again to that kind of allure or that bait that a prospect will give you about, I'm interested in working with you. Can we have time to talk? So I used to immediately jump. Didn't matter how qualified you were. Didn't matter how much content you went through. If someone messaged me on LinkedIn or emailed me and said, hey, what are your prices? What does it look like to work with you? I'd immediately jump on the phone. I'd immediately jump on and try to sell. And what finally stopped it was someone here where I live in Minneapolis, St. Paul, messaged me and said, I own a company. We're interested in hiring someone for LinkedIn services. Would you be willing to drive across town, present yourself, explain how LinkedIn works and how it can help our company? And I was like, sure. And so I showered and put on nice clothes and got all, prepared myself and got a bunch of my books and put together some slides and got my laptop, and I drove all the way across town, 45 minutes, went to this person's company, spent an hour educating them, explaining all the possibilities for LinkedIn, custom tailoring a marketing plan for them, right? Just blowing it up for this person and their team. And then at the end of it, they said, that's really interesting. Yeah, you gave us a lot to think about. Thanks for coming. See ya. I was like, wait, what? And I didn't have, it wasn't like they're like, and we're ready to sign up today. It was like, oh yeah, we were just curious. Thanks for the free education. We'll get back to you if we want to do anything with this. It was very much just like, oh, thanks for being our free little wind-up toy. Like, you basically came in and gave us a free masterclass, and all your free books, and gave us a custom plan for our company. Yeah, maybe we'll just take this and do it ourselves, or hire someone else and give them your blueprint. Like, I just felt like such an idiot. And I remember driving all the way back home, and I was just like, never again, never again, never again, never again. Same with phone calls. I've done so many calls, and I still get sucked in a few times a month where someone will, hey, what's your pricing? What does it look like to work with you? And I have no idea if they're qualified. I have no idea how warmed up they are. I have no idea if they're serious. I fall into that old thing, and I call them right away, and spend all this time, and it quickly becomes apparent they're not warmed up. They're not a good prospect. They don't know, like, or trust me yet to the level of doing a 5-figure done for you. They haven't been through any of my content. They don't have any money. They thought it would be $500. You know what I mean? Like, so what I've done instead is I've disciplined myself now. Dan said, did I shave? That day I did shave, Dan. That's how bad it was, Prosser. That's how bad it was. I drove across town, shaved. I wore like a tie. It was horrible. Never again. Now what I do, and I'll bring screen share back into the mix here. Okay. Is I make you, as the prospect, you jump through hoops. So if someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm interested, what's your pricing? I say, that's fantastic. I'm really excited to hear what you have going on. In order to, and I have a whole script I do this with clients, but I say, in order to really know if I'm going to be able to help you with, let's say, LinkedIn lead generation, first I need to know more about your situation. So go to this page, and I'll send them to this page on my site, and it'll have kind of this, it's either a work with me page or whatever. I say, go to this page, click the apply now button, and then just fill out the survey. It'll just take you a minute. And basically it asks them a bunch of qualifying questions, okay, about budget, how long have you been in business, who's your audience, what's your service, what's one new client or sale worth to you. So I know their kind of place. If they're saying, yeah, one new client's for 0 to 500, they're probably not going to want to sign up for a 5-figure package, right? But if they say one new client's 25K, great. A 5-figure package, if I get you one client, that might pay for everything. So these are the kind of things. What's your revenue, right? Are you just starting out? Are you already a big business, right? And then these kind of questions are all things that I can now get ahead of time and not waste time on a prospecting call, right? What's your target month goals? What do you want to make? What's your mindset? What do you think's holding you back? Are you blaming others? Are you blaming yourself? Do you have a budget? Do you invest in digital marketing? Are you the sole decision maker? If no, right, it has this logic to say, well, who else is it, right? So they can say my wife, or they can say, my boss, because that's another place where I got burned in the past was I'd have a prospect on the phone. They go, this all sounds awesome. Now I just have to go convince my boss. Can you do another call with my boss? Oh, and it never worked, right? Because the boss would be like, I don't know anything about this. Who's this Nemo guy? All I see is the numbers. I don't want to spend that on LinkedIn. Does it even work? Isn't that for jobs? What's the whole point? What are you doing here, Billy? And I just felt like an idiot, right? So this is all learned over time, right? Then I'll say, like, what level of service do you want? How much do you want to spend? Like, what's kind of your goal, right? Or if someone says none of these are a good option, you're not a good prospect. Like, you're telling me I have no money and I'm not a good prospect, right? So at the end, and then urgency. How urgent is it to immediately start this? And so at the end, here's another key thing. What do you know about me? Have you read any of my books? If someone answers this one, I've never read, seen, or listened to any of John's stuff. This is my first introduction. That's a huge red flag to me. I don't want to get on the phone with you yet, because all that's going to happen on that call is they're going to go, yeah, I was asking around my networking group and someone said you're great at LinkedIn. So I looked you up and filled out your survey. But they have no comfort level with me. They don't know, like, or trust me yet. They haven't seen me demonstrate any expertise. There's no way in that phone call they're going to give me money 99.9% of the time, because they're not ready. Like, they don't know. I wouldn't give you money. I don't know you. Somebody just said you're great at YouTube, but I'm not, like, prove it. Like, show me. Like, what's your story? How can I trust you? Like, that's what the content will do. So that's why I've really created these specific questions. And then what you can do on the back end is, again, you can look through the responses and you can immediately see, is this person a good lead? Like, this one just came in 11:48 a.m. right before we went on. So this person, this is what I'm doing. I'm selling equipment, right? Here's my LinkedIn URL. How do you currently get leads? How long have you been in business? Tell me about your business. We do these things, 3D printing, blah, 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 right? Okay. One new sales worth 25 grand. What's current monthly revenue? Less than 5 grand. Okay, something's off here, right? Okay, what's your target goal? I think this person's actually a salesperson at a company, so that's probably why their monthly revenue is that, but the sales are that has to be probably what it is, because he works at a factory. He's not the owner. Okay, he has no budget. Are you the sole decision maker? No. The boss controls all the money. However, I spend my own money to have the full version of LinkedIn and for linked selling. Okay, so what this is telling me before I get on a call with this guy and before I do a big spiel is he's got to put his own money into this. So there's no way he's doing a 5-figure program, right, as a sales guy. At best, I'm probably going to be able to sell him my online course for $2 grand. So do I want to do that over a phone call? Maybe, maybe not. I already have an automated webinar that will sell him the $2,000 course. I'm just going to put him through that. I'm not going to spend time. And I'm not going to hope we can get his boss on the phone and hope I can convince his boss. Not worth the time, right? Now, but see what he wants. I want you to do it all for me. How? Right? So this is saving so much time because you're very urgent. I'm old. But again, you can see all the red flags, right? So again, and I'm not trying to pick on this person, but this is the value of pre-qualifying people, correct? Because now you can look through these and you can cherry pick the best people who can say, right, none of these are a good option. I don't have any money. Okay, well, for someone that says that, I have all kinds of free content. So at the end of the day, you can still serve everyone. That's the beautiful thing about this. You can still serve everyone, but make money. So what I look at is if someone comes to me and says, I'm in a bad place, I'm struggling, I don't have money, blah, 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 but I really want help and throw me a bone, I can say, great. Here's all this free content. Here's my book for free. Or you're looking specifically for mindset issues. I've bottled up all this great content. Knock yourself out. Consume as much as you want. It's like going to the library, right? That's how you get educated. For someone that says, hey, look, I've got money. I'm serious. I'm legit. I run the company. I control the purse strings. I'm already sold on you. I've read your book. I want to talk. That's where then I see one of those come through the type form and I go, okay, boom, let's go, right? Other people come in and it's like, yeah, so this was an example where, again, somebody came in and said, I've never heard anything, but they checked all these other boxes. So I got on a call, but then we didn't do a deal. And I think it's because they just didn't know me, right? Somebody had recommended me. This person checked all the boxes, But it was a good reminder to me of, oh no, what are my easiest sales? Who are my best clients? People that have consumed tons and tons and tons of content. Like I have one client right now that's like, I've listened to 75 of your podcast episodes. I walk for an hour a day and I binge on your podcast. So how easy was that sale for me? It was super easy because that person has me in his head every morning for an hour. When I buy stuff from people, it's after I've read their books, watched their videos, listened to them, and it's almost like talking to a celebrity when I get to work with them and buy from them, right? You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm really talking to you. I listen to your stuff every day. It's so cool to talk to you live. It's the same impact with content. And so that's the idea behind this, is really understanding these kind of 3 mistakes and how to, kind of turn them around, and really understanding that's what we want to do. And this third one is really big. This is really nuanced. A lot of people aren't doing this yet, but using the content to warm people up, make them kind of get to know, like, and trust you, demonstrate your expertise, but then make them jump through hoops before they get to talk to you. Just protect your time, protect your calendar. You should be and play hard to get. People should not have an easy way to get to you and just talk to you and pick your brain. I should put that in as a bonus one, is people say, hey, I'd just like to have 15 minutes to pick your brain about a few things. Absolutely not. Right? Like, I'll never forget my business coach, Sean Morgan. When I read his book, one of the reasons I hired him was I was, still letting people pick my brain. And he said in his book, he goes, if you want to pick my brain, it's $500 an hour. Pick away, right? But I don't give away hard-won expertise and knowledge about marketing and branding, the same stuff that he uses for his clients like Disney and, Google. And he doesn't give it away. You want to pick his brain, you can pay to pick his brain, which is fine, right? I paid a guy when I really wanted to learn online courses, and I have all these different online courses. I bought a lot of do-it-yourself programs and learned, and I went to the guy who had the best do-it-yourself program, and I said, I want to really pick your brain. How much do I have to pay for that? And he said $1,000 for 1 hour at a time. And I remember thinking about it, and again, doing the ROI in my mind and going, if I could really sit and learn from this guy for an hour for $1,000, if I could just sell one online course, I paid for it and I'll have all this knowledge. And so I did it, and it was incredible. And he actually helped me make 5 figures worth of sales now, right, from that knowledge. But that's the key, was he played hard to get. He wasn't like, oh, sure, let's just hop on a call. You bought my course, I'll just give it away for free. No. He made himself very much the authority, and I'm in charge, and I don't just give it away. And that was appealing and alluring to me as a prospect to go, well, he must be really good. If he's going to charge me $1,000 for an hour, I bet he's going to blow my doors off. And he did, and he delivered, right? But again, you have to really have that confidence in yourself. So all that said, oh my gosh, I keep going, but I'll stop for now. Okay. We've got lots of questions coming in. So Melody says, do you feel that more people listen to podcast episodes as opposed to blog posts? It really depends on the audience, Melody. I think pre-coronavirus, pre-COVID, podcasts were just exploding, right? People commuting, walking the dog, doing laundry. I'm a big, big fan of podcast and audio. And the reason is it's much more passive. Because we're all so hyper busy and so distracted and doing a million things, like I don't just sit and listen to a podcast. I listen to a podcast while I'm walking Rosie the dog, doing laundry, cleaning the house. Same with audiobooks. I'm always got something going in my ears, or driving somewhere. Videos, I have to sit, I have to pay attention, I have to watch. Blog posts, I have to sit, I have to read. And that I find myself doing far less of, just as a distracted, busy person, but I consume tons of audio. So for me personally, but again, it depends on the age of your audience, what the topic is, what the niche is. There's no magic solution. It really is knowing your core kind of group and what you love to do and what you're good at. If you're really good at talking and interviewing and sharing, then do audio, or double dip it and do it as video and then strip out the audio and make that a podcast. I try to do that with all these Noon with Nemos. You can see me. I'm here on video. I'm teaching, sharing my screen. But almost every week, I strip out the audio and publish it as a standalone podcast episode. Basically saying in the introduction, like, hey, this is audio from a recent session. If you didn't watch it live, you can listen to the takeaways here. So yeah, good question. Let me do this before we run out of time. Let me see. Okay. So I want to make sure, does everyone here either knows me, or does anyone here not have LinkedIn Riches or is not a LinkedIn client? I don't actually have the link to it here. I was going to say I can offer LinkedIn Riches for everybody. If you need it, let me know and I can put a link into it. What other questions do you guys have before we wrap up? In fact, I will throw in a link to LinkedIn Riches. A lot of you already have it or are done for you clients, so you don't need it. But I will throw it in if you do want that. LinkedIn Riches, if you don't know, that's the online course. That's the best place to kind of take, all these templates and tools that we're talking about. So get LinkedIn Riches here. I'm going to put that up. I'll put a special link to that. LinkedIn Riches here. Throw that up there. Okay. So that's in the chat. If you want to click on that, you can go through and get the online course. Oh, Alex sent me his other video. Oh, the flipping video. Okay. Royce says you're sponsoring my pool. Love it, buddy. I love it. Thanks. I had a funny, somebody the other day goes, yeah, I bought so many of your courses. I think I paid for the shallow end of the pool, which is a whole other story. The pool and mindset. You've probably seen that before, but yes, the pool has been fun. But again, living in Minnesota, it's such a great story because you can only use a pool in Minnesota like 3 months of the year, 4 months of the year, maybe, right? It's just a ridiculous, stupid, bad investment. It's really just kind of a fun, wow, let's pie in the sky dream, and you put a pool in. And I really made that a mindset thing, had an emotional goal of what would it be like to have a pool. And I do all that in my mindset courses. But yeah, people always joke about the pool. Charles, the online course for mindset is out. So, and it's only $47. So let me put that up for those of you that want the mindset course. It's called $1 Million Mindset. Let me pop that up. Where's that sucker? $1 Million Mindset. There it is. Okay. Boom. All right. So that should be live. It's called $1 Million Mindset. It's just $47. This is all my best mindset training. And then I'll put that up here too. One of the other strategies I've been doing, get the mindset course for $47. One of the things I've been doing too is breaking up a lot of my content into smaller, kind of lower ticket products like this for $47. It's a ton of content, videos, audio, written. You get a copy of my book Fired Up and all my best mindset tips. But what I've also learned is, here's an interesting kind of inside baseball, just sharing it with you guys. One of the things I've learned, again, this is all about content, is there's kind of 2 or 3 different ways this all works. One is the longer a person is around you and exposed to you and seeing you and consuming your stuff, there's just more familiarity. They feel comfortable. They feel good. They know you. They like you. They trust you. And that's part of why I do Noon with Nemo every Friday is there's a lot of people that started on this that become 5-figure done for you clients. Or, there's a lot of people that go on this and they're not necessarily, they never heard of me before. Somebody invited them. I found them on LinkedIn and they hopped in, and it's like, and maybe that's some of you today. It's like, I don't really know this guy yet. I'm not ready to drop $2,000 on LinkedIn Riches or 5 figures on a done for you. But I really liked what he said today about mindset. I'll spend $47. I'll go pop into that. You know what I mean? So the other thing I'm learning is having those tiered kind of products. So have your kind of entry level $47, $50, $100, so someone can kind of get a flavor for who you are and what you do. And that's where you can really sell the strategy, the concepts, why this works, how to implement it, all that good stuff. Then you can move up a higher level to kind of the, more meatier kind of courses, that are $2,000, $5,000, whatever. Then you can move up another level to the course or the content plus coaching, plus access, they call it bonding with the guru. Like you get access one-on-one or in a group format to the person teaching it. And at the very top, you can have the done for you, which is, hey, you're the expert. I love your stuff. I love your strategy. It totally makes sense. I just don't want to deal with it. You go do it for me and bring me business. And that's where, like, I do that, for instance, with Amazon ads. Like one of the things I try to do, I found for my business that books are my single best way to win new business. The books are the best lead magnet ever. And that little book, LinkedIn Riches, I have a copy here. I was going to pull it over, but that thin little book wins so much business, as does the audiobook. So naturally, I want to get it into more people's hands. Well, I spent a lot of time trying to learn Amazon advertising, Amazon's algorithm, blah, 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 because Amazon is obviously where everybody finds the book. And I realized at the end of the day, I can keep hacking away at this and trying, or I can just hire an expert. And so I found someone that's an Amazon expert, and I said, here's my money, get me sales. And so every month I spend money with this person, and every month I get sales, right? And the person says, hey, I'm doing all this, and they're very transparent, and I'm doing these keywords and this is, and it's like, the key thing is I don't micromanage or second guess the person. I just look for the output. But that's an area where, could I try to learn it and do it reasonably well? Sure. But is that a good use of my time? That's the other lesson I think that I just stumbled into here as we finish up. Ted Miller really drove that home. Yeah, I mean, that guy was a hoot. But anyway, where is your time most valuable? What are the parts of your business that only you can really do? And usually if you're a coach, consultant, business owner, the stuff that nobody else can replicate is your personal kind of brand, your content that you create, whatever it is, and then delivering your service. But somebody else can do your Facebook ads. Somebody else can learn how to do Entreport and automated emails. Somebody else can do your LinkedIn marketing. Somebody else can do your SEO. You don't have to learn all that and waste time and brain matter doing that. It's much better. For me, I don't do my own taxes. I hate them, right? I'm terrible at it. It takes forever. I just throw money at a person and say, don't get me audited and arrested. Here's the money, like save me money, right? Same with when I tried Facebook ads, right? And same with when I tried Amazon ads. Like, that's the thing too to think about for you, is getting the knowledge is really good and getting the courses and bootstrapping and doing it yourself. But also then looking at, if you can get to a place where you say, all I'm really working on is the stuff nobody else can replicate in my business. Everything else I've outsourced to people that can do it for me. And that's when you really start to accelerate, because it's that, what is it, the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule, 20% of your activity brings in 80% of the business. You need to focus on that 20% that only you can provide. So anyway, all good stuff. If you have more questions, you know where to find me. I'm here every Friday. I've got all the online courses. I'll throw in a link to this free page too. I feel like that's a good place to kind of leave today, because there's so many different topics on there. So more tips here. There's more tips at linkedinriches.com/free, all sorted by kind of topics. So knock yourselves out. If you want to grab one of the online course, Stress-Free Selling is coming out when? Oh, that's out, Bob. I thought you have access to that. No? I think you have access. But yeah, Stress-Free Selling has been out for a while. Yeah, I can link to that too. So I'll pop that out for people that want it. Just email me too if you have questions about, I want this course, or I'm interested in this. Just email me, john@linkedinriches.com. Just email me anytime there. But thank you. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found it inspiring. The big thing I want to leave all of you with is, don't undervalue yourself. Stop it. Stop thinking that your time and your expertise isn't worth just as much as Tony Robbins, because it is. Because you know why? Tony Robbins is not you. He can't do what you can do as well as you can. You have a gift, you have a calling, you have an expertise, you have an insight, you have an ability that no one else in the world does. At least not, you might provide the same type of service as someone else, but you have your own unique spin, twist, story, style that no one else can replicate. And the reason I know that is because there's only one you, right? There is only one Dan Prosser in the world. Thank God, right, Prosser? But there's only one Bob Rosen. There's only one John Griffin. I'm just naming my clients here. There's only one Charles Alexander, that's for sure. You have a unique ability, unique gift, and you should be compensated for it. That's the big thing. And when you have that confidence and protect your schedule and don't just give it away, people respect that, and you filter away and repel the tire kickers and the nut jobs, and you attract the people that go, Well, if I have to pay $1,000 just to talk to you, you must be really smart. And not that you do all or nothing like that, because Tony Robbins has tons of free content, right? So if you don't know anything about Tony Robbins, you can start with all his free stuff and move up his funnel to go, okay, I've read all the stuff. I read all the free posts. I get the emails. I'm hooked. I love the strategy. Now I'll fork over 10 grand to go to his next event. Now I'll fork over X amount of dollars to get trained by one of his people, right? So it doesn't, take out that work that you have to do with your content and your free stuff. It's just at the end of the funnel, you want to be like, yeah, it's hard to access me. You got to jump through some hoops before I'll talk to you. So hopefully that helps. Only one Philly special. That's right, Bruce. I love it. You know that, Bruce Kirk. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being on. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you all, as always. And we will talk more with all of you later. Be well.